Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So it's me. Today I want to really talk about something called timelines. And look, it's been a minute. I've been gone, but dude, I'm gonna start dropping some videos a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I just wanted to come here and talk about timelines. Don't compare your timeline to other people's timelines. You know, in this life, we have this idea that like, oh, we're supposed to get something done by this timeline or that timeline. It's supposed to be done by with school at 18, get to university, finish it by 22, get married at 25, buy a house at 30, at 28, 27, and then you get the idea. And it's supposed to be this regimented and everything. But let me tell you why that's actually false. That assumes that a person has certain resources or has a certain life circumstance, so to speak, for said goals and objectives to be met, especially at those times. But it doesn't account for the fact that people live messy lives and that things don't actually go to plan or go to work the way you thought it was going to work. Random things happen to people, bro. I think they happen to all of us. Unexpected things that you just didn't see, you didn't foresee, or didn't want to happen. So trying to hold yourself up to that expectation is retarded. The other thing is also like comparing yourself to people. Like that is such a horrible thing to do, and you should really stop doing that if you are. Like, so what? Another person did this at this time, or oh, this person's younger than me, and they're already doing this, and that person's older than me by 1 year, but look where they're at, and look at this guy, they're the same age as me, and they're here. And it's like, look, let me tell you something. You don't know people. You don't know you don't know people, you don't know what they've been through, nor do you know what they're about to go through either. Okay? Like, one of the things that as I've gotten older and as you get older, you should be understanding is that, you should be grateful for your life, like for the little bits that you have, for the peace that you have. It may not be perfect, you may not have everything that you want, there may be certain problems and issues, and I hear your statement, but like, don't ever wish for somebody else's life. Do not, because you don't know what that person's dealing with. You don't know what that person's um, been through. You just don't know. I mean, there's this guy, very huge in South Africa, football player, was at the national team at the World Cup. He killed himself, really terrible, very awful thing, but he was dealing with severe amounts of depression caused by, I think, partly has something to do with his grandmother passing away as well and stuff. And for some people, you might feel like, why is he depressed? He has so much money. And it's true, he was not financially poor in any regard, but it doesn't mean that he didn't have his own problems that for them, it's a big deal. For you, you might feel like, I don't even like my grandparents. Fuck them niggas. And that's you, that's you. But like for other people, their grandparents were like literally their own parents, and it was like really important and deep to them. The point is that like this is probably one of the biggest things I've learned in life too, is that our interpretation of things on earth are not the same. Other people just have different interpretations on the similar things. One of the biggest things I came to learn as I've grown up was that just because yes, I'm talking to you, look at me, yes, just because you see something a specific way or you understanding it a specific way does not mean that the next person sees it the same way at all. You might look at a situation and be like, it's not a big deal. But for somebody else, it's actually a very big deal because it's triggering certain things from them, from their past, and this, that, and the third. And that's why one of the reasons why you shouldn't be taking people, all that seriously. Because let me tell you something, bro. Some people on this earth, I'll tell you right now, have problems, deep seated issues, deep seated problems, like problems on problems on problems, like things that are just beyond your comprehension, even if you tried and there's no point, you know? And one of the things I really came to tell you, at least with this timelines thing, is that like, just don't, bro. Like, walk your own path. If your path requires you taking an extra month, an extra 2 months, extra 5 months, extra year, extra fucking 2 years, so may be. Look, obviously, yes. Would you like to be at a certain place at a specific time? Listen, if I could click a button right now, and even you, would you click a button and become a overnight millionaire? Yes, I would. But I don't have that button, do I? So, like, why are we talking about fake things? And look, man, a lot of the times life is unsexy, dude. Life is unsexy. Life is so unsexy, and it's just that way. You wish it could be this way, you want it to be that way. I know, but it's just not the way life is. One of the hardest things that I came to realize is that there's the things that you want, there's the things that you believe, and then there's reality. You could say, I want this, and this is how it should be, and I hear you. I see this. But reality is like, nah, not really. You could, like, I'll give you an example. Like, people, I'll make this example. Some people will argue that, like, oh, stealing is wrong, and people shouldn't steal, and stealing is awful, and why did people steal? It's not right. It's true. I hear your statement. But then reality says, yeah, I'm a do me though. So what do you think you should do now? Yes, I understand that stealing is awful evil, but I also live in a reality and I need to protect myself. That's just the way it fucking is, man. You're not Superman. You know? That's probably one of the next things I want to speak about as well, is that you're not Superman, cowboy. One of the hardest things, let me take a seat down for this, okay? One of the hardest things that I've really came to realize in life is just the fact with that, this is going to sound awful, but it's real, that you are a nobody. Like, you are a legit nobody. And this is a good thing, but I'll talk about it both ends. Like, you are just a human being. One of the most important things that you are going to benefit from is understanding how does reality look at you. Sometimes, a lot of the times actually, you have spent so much time talking and examining at the world and looking at the world that you don't spend any sort of time understanding. Let me say this again. Some of you have spent so much time looking and observing how the world looks at you. No, fuck. Okay, let's really do this. Okay, the point is, you spend all this time looking at the world, analyzing the world, that you don't see how the world looks at you back. You don't see how the world interprets you. You don't see how the world looks at you. It's so important that you learn that, because it's going to be aligned with reality, and it's going to uncover a lot of unsexy truths about you to the world and what it actually means and looks like. Now, this is double-edged, and it's not as bad as, but it's also not as good as you think it is. But I need to tell you the full truth, which is that, number one, nobody cares about you. No one cares about your struggle. No one cares about your pain. No one cares what happened to you. Nobody cares. Everybody is worried about their own things. Everybody's worried about their own things. Everybody's worried about their own problems. Nobody got time to be worrying about your problems. So you got to be worried about your problems more than anybody else. Number two, nobody's going to save you. No one's going to save you. I'm telling you, if you don't fucking do whatever the fuck it needs to get done to whatever the fuck get forward, in any capacity, whether that's studying, whether that's doing your online dropshipping bullshit, whether that's working out, whether that's making that call, making that ad, making that poster, calling that person, going to that location, getting there, whatever the fuck. If you're not going to do it, it's not going to be done by anybody. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to give a fuck about you or your life or your problems the way that you need to give a fuck about them. Nobody's gonna take you by your hand and say, hey man, give me your hand, and then they're gonna fucking take you anywhere. They're not gonna fucking do it. They're too busy trying to take themselves there. I'm so real about that. The next thing is that you need to be honest, bro. People are judgmental. That goes back to a part of the earlier part of this video. People are fucking judgmental. People are going to judge you. They're going to judge you based on the way you speak. They're going to judge you based on the way you look. They're going to base you on your height, on your health, on your hygiene, on your hairline, on your teeth, on your skin, on your skin color, on your race, on everything. People are judgmental as fuck. That's just the way that it is, bro. That's just, you got to learn how to play the game. Look, I'm not happy about the game, but it's the fucking game. Once again, oh, people shouldn't judge. This is not fair. I hear you, cowboy, but like, this is how it is down here. Reality says, nah, I'm gonna do me. That's just how people are, dude. You know, as you can see, I'm black and I'm male and whatever. You guys have been listening to this video. You have a sense of understanding on me and whatever, right? Fantastic. But when I go outside, nobody knows that. They just see that I'm tall and that I'm black, and then, oh my God, it's tall black male. And that already has an association with it. Even you, if you hear old white women or middle-aged white women, you already think, oh my gosh, she's a Karen and whatever. Now, the old white woman in question now, she might not be any, she actually might be actually a really, really cool person. But it doesn't matter because that's just the association people are gonna have with you. You know, I'm not saying you have to be bounded to this every 2 minutes and think about it forever, but so that you should know how the world views you. You know, the next thing is also knowing how reality works. You know, reality is oftentimes a bit more brutal, a lot more brutal, to a lot more unsexy and disappointing. And what happens for a lot of people, they try to disobey reality. They try to disobey reality. They try not paying attention to it. And then they think that, oh, yeah, no, totally. I'm just going to do my own thing and whatever. And here's the thing, right? Reality doesn't care whether you choose to obey it or not. Reality is going to stay that way. You will hit that brick wall as hard as it's going to hit you back. Straight up. It's like in physics a little bit. Like when you hit something, it hits you back as much as you hit it back. Like literally. Like as much. So then what you need to learn is to learn how to flow with reality. Learn how to flow. You know, learn that I need to move a certain way in this world. Like I know people are like, oh, you got to be yourself. You got to be who you are. Fuck no. Okay, you can be yourself in certain places, but a lot of the time when you outside, bro, I'll tell you this right now: the world is a jungle, bro. It's a jungle out there, bro. It's not like for the weak or faint of heart, bro. It's a jungle out there, bro. It is that crazy. It is batshit insane. It is bingo bongo monkey insane. It's wild out here. And if you don't know how to move and why to move and where to move, you're going to get fucked up, like horribly. You know? The next thing that I've also learned is this, like, you know, kind of going back to some of the points we spoke about here, which is that, like, do not take everybody seriously. I was kind of spoke about the reasons why. But a lot of people, like, I'll tell you one thing, one of the things I spoke about as well is that, like, some things and in some industries and some things, you should go speak to experts, dude. Like, to the point. You should go speak to experts. Like, if you have the access, which you can kind of speak to ChatGPT about it, maybe depending, maybe go on YouTube, go speak to an expert about your situation. Don't speak to people who don't have access to that knowledge, because people from that field, people from that industry, people from that area, they'll be the ones to tell you what the fuck is going on because they deal within that shit. They deal within it. If you're struggling with a specific subject in school, go to the fucking teacher and tell them, hey, I'm struggling. What should I do? What are some tips and tricks? What can be done? And they will tell you because they know, because they went through it. They know what's going down. You know, if you don't know how to get in shape or something, go get somebody who's in shape and listen to them. Now, some people are gonna be like, oh, you know, maybe this person has good genetics and this and that. Third. Yeah, but I'm not gonna listen to some guy outside, you know. And if you can find some guy who used to be fat as fuck and then got into shape, listen to his ass then. Fuck, go listen to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I'm telling you, the next thing in life is that don't be so hard on yourself. You know, very unsexy, but very real. Look, at the end of the day, you're a human being just doing their best. Okay. Like I said, there's hypothetical stuff in your brain, what you wish, and then there's reality. And them shits don't match. You see these Instagram routines, you wake up and you do your bed and then you go on your gym jog and then you do, hey man, reality doesn't work like that. Sometimes you wake up and you're fucking depressed. Sometimes you wake up and you're happy. Sometimes it's a good day. Sometimes it's a bad day. Sometimes your shit is getting fucked up in life right now. And you could only do half. But what I've really realized, this is probably one of my things that I remember this talking about this when I was younger, is called, I don't know what to call it. And I'm sure there's some sort of psychology term for it, but it's like the rule of moving closer. Saying that, like, let's say you haven't been studying, as an example. It was back when I was whatever, open up the book. Just open up the book. Even if you don't read it, just fucking open it up. And then you fucking go to whatever because you whatever. It's like the thing that puts you off is the amount of work. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna sit down, pull out this and this. Just open up the book and just flip some pages and whatever. But the thing is that what we're building is the consistency, the coming back to the situation. It's just that thing. Then the next time after flipping the page, we sit down. Then the next time we sit down, we actually coming out with a pen and paper. And then we're building that. It's called progressive overload. And every single time I've used it, dude, I'm telling you, by the second week, or even by the end of the first week, I'm already having full-blown sessions. Simply because the mental resistance, I'm just breaking it. I'm just breaking it. Because sometimes in our brains, we think this is so large, but it's not. It reminds me with fitness when you're running, right? When I was getting in shape for football, running and stuff. Don't try to go out and do 30 minutes first time. Are you crazy? Or even an hour. That's like unless it's like a one-time thing. But even still then, go out there, do a 10-minute jog. You know what I'm saying? Do 10-minute jogs. And then slowly over time, you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, okay, I can do 15 minutes. Okay, I can do 20 minutes. And before you know it, you're at that 30-minute benchmarks. I'm telling you, it's that easy sometimes. But you have to get into that back and forth. That's how you build momentum. Sometimes I remember I wrote this down on my board, which is like, build SOPs for everything. SOPs, standard operating procedures. And let me tell you something about SOPs. Don't build something crazy that you can't do, hey? It's better to keep a plan that you can actually follow through than keep some hypothetical cool plan that will be so much better, but you can't fucking follow it. So even if you have a workout plan that says like, I'm just going to do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats, 10 push-ups and squats. That is it. If you can stick with that shit, bro, you're going to make progress. You're going to lose some fat. I'm not saying you're going to be Mr. Chris Bumstead, look crazy, but that's how you got to stay. You know what I'm saying? And that progressive overload thing I was talking about, do 10 push-ups, then you're going to do 15, then you're going to do 30, and then you get the idea, Just like that. Say, okay, I'm going to do them in the morning. Say, okay, I'm going to do them then, like literally. And this is probably one of the things I realized today, which is that reality changes. Ooh, I don't know. I had this topic earlier on. I said that reality is here and your thoughts and beliefs here. But like more specifically, your reality changes depending on where you're at in life and the stage and the things you did previously and how they influenced before. Let's talk about it at the beginning. Let's say at the beginning, you literally couldn't run for 10 minutes. It was that bad. But then you kept on training. You did 5 minutes. You say you did 3 workouts over the next week of doing 7-minute, 5-minute runs, right? The following week, reality has changed. Now you can do 10-minute. I'm one of them. I have 10 minutes. You can now do 10-minute runs now, right? You do your 10-minute runs. That consistency, reality has changed. Now you can do 20 minutes. Reality has changed. Now you can do 30 minutes. Reality has changed. It's changing. And the more you obey reality, like people don't believe this, but it's real. Your life can go from zero to hero like so fucking quickly. Like within less than 3 years, depending on how you choose to follow reality, follow your reality. It sounds weird, but it's real. Follow it, or at least listen to it. Look at what's realistic, what isn't realistic, what can be done, what can't be done, what is there, what isn't there, And this doesn't mean don't try things. It just means think about things, because a lot of the times, sometimes life growth is exponential, where it's like nothing, then it goes shrips, and then goes up, it shoots up, and it gets harder and harder. You'll see, I swear to God, you'll see that. You see this with gym people all the time, where you will make more progress within the last, okay, maybe not like this, but it depends. I mean, obviously it gets to a point where it's diminishing returns, but then my point is that it will take a long time to make progress, and then boom, 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 once you start figuring it out. And that's a huge part of life, bro. You just gotta figure it out, dude. You gotta obey reality, dude. You can stay in there in your mind all the time, but you know, it's just it starts slow, 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 slow. Then it goes up, 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 up. It's exponential. You see this in finances and math and investing and all this other stuff, because the compounding effect is real. The compounding effect of learning of knowledge is so real. The compounding effect of fitness is there. It's real. You know, where like a guy who's been working out every single week or month or day for the last 3 months, he can take a 1 month break and come back because he's at a certain level and he can just restart and get good again. But yo ass, who's been training even hard as hell in that 1 month, you're not going to beat him. You're not. It's like basketball. Like LeBron James right now, as we speak, can take like 3 months off basketball. And you, within the very same 3 months, can work hard as hell every single day, working in this basketball every single day. And he comes back on that first day, he's still going to beat you in basketball, because you're not going to erase the 20 plus years he's been doing in basketball within that 3 months. You have to follow reality. You need to think about some of these things. But there's 20 minutes now, but I don't know, maybe let me keep on talking. I watch my own videos back, so it's just one of those things, man, where like you got to keep a positive mind, man. You got to keep a positive mind in this life. You can't always be down on yourself. You can't always be bad on yourself, because I remember I spoke about this. I was like, dude, I hate people who will bitch at you, and be like, oh, you're this, oh, this, but, oh, you're this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's unfair, this, blah, 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 blah. I hate people who will bitch but not give you a solution. Like, what the fuck must I do? Like, okay, and what should I do now? You can't just get mad at me or, criticize me without fucking giving me a plan. Now you're just berating me. You're just fucking berating. What the fuck am I going to do with berating? You're just trying to fucking make me feel bad about myself and stuff. And I don't fucking need that. I need fucking practical solutions in whatever the fuck it is. If somebody says, oh, your fitness sucks. Okay, great. What should I do? Oh, your fitness still sucks. Okay, now it's just hate. Now it's just literally hate, And the next thing, I guess part of this is just protecting your mind, bro. Like, as much as we want to look at the truth, it's so important that you keep a positive. You're a human being. You got to keep a positive mind. Like literally walk outside, or at least close your eyes and breathe and stuff, and fucking get to recouping, bro. Recoup, reset. I don't give a fuck if you do it 3 times a week. Recoup, reset, get back on, watch this video back. Do what you got to do, cowboy. Because time waits for nobody. Whether you're ready for it or not, man, the sun's going to come up. Whether you're ready or not, like, it's nighttime. It doesn't matter whether I'm ready or not. Dude, the sun is going to come up regardless. And it really comes down to a lot of life, quite frankly, like comes down to your interpretation, like your personal interpretation on the situation and what you really choose to focus on. If I tell you right now, bro, think about all the things that are good in your life. Think about it. Like, think about the bed that you sleep in, the water that you drink. You have access to clean water. You can take showers. You have a bed. You have clothes. You have TV. You have Wi-Fi. You're in a good position, man. There's things that can happen for you. Look at that. You're already getting positive. But if I go like, man, think about all the horrible things that are happening to you. You ain't got this happened, this bad. Like, even how you steer your mind with the way you speak is going to influence how you feel. So this is something that's really important, very key, that you should remember sometimes, and focus on the positive solutions, because when you dwell in the negative, you're going to fucking just think negative. And back to what I was saying, is like, one of the biggest things I came to realize, bro, is that, bro, opportunities in life are here, like, to the point. Opportunities in life are here, whether you're ready for it or not, dude. Like, I watch MMA, I watch UFC a lot, dude. UFC 340, I'm sure it's already being done by now, or whenever you're watching this. UFC 350 is gonna happen. UFC 325 is, I think that already happened. Yeah, anyways, I think no, it didn't. Anyways, whatever. The next one's gonna happen. Champions League is gonna get played again. It was the 2026 World Cup now. I just watched England and Norway now. You probably already know the winner at that stage. I don't at this moment. It's gonna happen anyways. You look outside, people every single day, people need food to eat. Cars need petrol. Electricity needs to get done. People need phones. People need laptops. People need doctors. People keep getting fucking sick. Oh, every single year, universities are opening up their doors to new students. New people are graduating. Businesses are hiring, at least depending on what you studied. And then the cycle goes on, brother. There's so many opportunities. So many opportunities. I'm not trying to be Mr. Funny Man. I'm being serious. So many opportunities every single day. Every single day. So in these times, in these moments, these are the times you should prepare for the future opportunities to come. I remember speaking about this before the World Cup. I was like, there's going to come a time in this World Cup where, even in the Premier League season, where someone is going to need a goal to score to win the game or at least tie. And it's needed. So you see right now, some of these teams, they're not competing. Some of these teams, it doesn't matter. The Euros are going to come in, I think, next year or the year after that. AFCON is going to happen, same story. All types of tournaments are going to happen. It's going to be the same thing. Someone's going to need to go. Are you going to be the one to make that goal? No, this could be the same thing with business. Somebody's going to need a doctor 3 years from now. They're going to realize that they have cancer, brain tumor, or some bullshit. It's going to happen again 10 years from now. There's more humans than ever before now. Are you going to be the doctor that helps with that? Somebody's going to realize, look, you like, one of the biggest things I came to realize as well is just how many people want you to win. And I know that sounds really weird, right? And you're like, what do you mean? But I'm being serious. So many people want you to win. You have no idea. So many people are rooting for you. So many people. Now you're just like, who? What do you mean? Let me tell you something. A lot of the times, as you, or like virtually every single time, when you as a human become more effective or more productive, whatever the fuck, it doesn't just help you, it helps everybody around you. It helps the people future people and so forth. So that's why people support that person. That's why buzzeries come in and help. That's why all these different things to help support that person, especially when that person is showing signs of talent, showing signs of growth, showing signs of all these things. People want to get behind that person because they have a talent, they have a gift that could help them get forward in their own life. And there's so many people want you to win. You have no idea, dude. It's even in dating. This is gonna sound lame, but it's real. When people go out on dates and whatever, they want to meet somebody cool. When people want friends, believe me, not all people, but like they want to meet a cool guy or girl who's like on their level and you guys can be friends. People want that type of stuff. When you go onto YouTube, there's this YouTube I watched. He basically exposes scammers. Dude, I watched his video. It was so refreshing. I was like, wow, this guy, and he has millions of views. And I'm like, I understand why. This guy's an amazing content creator. So many people want you to win. It's insane. And there's millions of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people, loyal, dedicated people that we want to see you win. They want to see your story. They want to hear you speak. Not everyone's going to want to hear you speak, but some people will. You got to remember that, bro. I'm not a liar, dude. So you guys, you're fucking watching right now, I hope. You're watching right now. So many people want to see you win. So many people want to see you get there. Not everybody, but a lot of people, bro. And you can't just forget about that. You need to think about them as well. So if you ever don't want to study whatever, get positive. You're like, whoa. The next thing is be grateful, dude. I know that sounds lame as fuck in this day and age, but I'm being dead real. Be grateful. Be happy. Be like, yes, I get to study. Yes, I get to work out. Yes, I get to go to work. Yes, I get to do this. Dude, I have an opportunity. I have a chance to do something. The next thing, this is probably one of the most unsexy things, is just the lessons you learn, bro. Oh my God, bro. The lessons you learn. Dude, one of the things about going through hard times or tough times is like, you learn lessons that just other people who just didn't go through these things just wouldn't. You gain a level of thick skin that just other people wouldn't be able to comprehend. Like, I was listening to this guy, right? He's a white dude from America. Anyways, long story short, he was broke. He was broke, like dead broke. Like can't afford food broke. Long story short, he got a job, right? He got a job. He was basically driving all around America doing, I don't know, some sort of delivery or whatever the fuck, right? And he had like this partner driving, and the partner is busy complaining about how he doesn't have weekends and how this isn't fair. But for him, he's like, dude, I'm getting paid. I don't care. It's cool. So from that guy's perspective, he doesn't understand. Why does he have such thick skin? Why doesn't it bother him? Why does he keep on coming to work? I want to go out there and party and do something. Because of where he came from, of where he comes from. You know what I'm saying? You gain a level of appreciation for certain things that other people take for granted. Like I knew myself with football, for example. I was never really fast, right? I am fast, but I was just out of fitness. I just couldn't really get my fitness down, right? And all these other people were just in better fitness, essentially. They'll just be faster than me and they'll look like better players than me. So these guys would win and win or whatever, and get all these accolades, whatever. Fantastic, cool. And then eventually, when I started catching up in my own fitness and physicality and stuff like that, I was beating the shit out of all of them, right? Because I remembered what it was like not being fast. I remember what it was like not having that. So then I'm very careful. I understand how to use that stuff. They already had it, so they kind of took it for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So when they met people who had targeted training about that thing, dude, it was different. It was just so fucking different. It was like that, you know? And that's just really the way that it is in these streets, you know? So sometimes when you go through problems and stuff, it's not even like a bad thing per se. It's just that you're gaining a level of thick skin that's going to really serve you in the future, depending on how you choose to work about the situation. It's going to help you so tremendously because you'll have an engine, you'll have a drive, you'll have an ethic. Because let me tell you something. Once you've been in a quote unquote low position, like you didn't have this or whatever, once you have something, bro, you're going to protect it like dear life because you know what it's like to be back there. You know, and like you're not gonna want to go back, you know. But for somebody who it's really not that big of a deal, whatever, they're not gonna get what you mean. They're not gonna get it, you know. And you know, it just becomes like that, and then success just builds on and on and on. Another thing you should be careful of is just like, you know, or just the last thing, at least I want to talk about, is just throwing yourself into something in the discipline. You know, when I was younger, I thought discipline was something cartoonish or like something TV like. You know, you wake up and you're regimented at 9:49 in the morning and whatever. No, honestly, there's no such thing as discipline. I'm gonna go there. There's something called obsession. And obsession is very different from discipline. When somebody's obsessed with something, they do it all the time. They like I remember like I used to do these word searches. I was obsessed with them. I loved them. I finished like 2, 3 booklets of little word searches. Dude, I'd be doing it in the car. I'll be doing it in the car. I'll be doing it in the kitchen. I'll be in the bathroom I'll bring out my pen and paper. I'll be doing it in between class and the breaks. I'll be doing it when I get home. It's obsession. Like you're just obsessed with it over and over and over. You're just obsessed with it. And that's how you need to be. If you want to be successful in anything, right? You have to be realistic, but if you want to learn something, if you want to get it, you need to be obsessed. You need to throw yourself into that thing, like both hands and feet. You know, just be obsessed with the learning and the progress and the enjoying of the learning. Just be obsessed with it. When you're obsessed with something, dude, you don't care about anything else, dude. Like I don't like if I was doing those word searches, bro, there could have been a burning fire outside, and I just wouldn't have noticed, to be real with you. I needed somebody to like tap me on the shoulder and tell me, "Hey, this is burning." I'm like, "Oh shit, let me leave." You understand? It's obsession. Obsession is a very weird thing. Obsession is a very mental and weird thing. Obsession. I don't know how to explain it. You guys know it, but it's like it consumes your mind in a way that like I don't know what, you know. And when you're obsessed with something, you'll do something even though you're like tired, even though it's like 2 in the morning. You're just there, just clicking, doing whatever, because you're obsessed. And obsession brings about a certain level of result, brings about a certain level of expertise. Because when somebody's been obsessed with something and somebody's been so dedicated and they just threw themselves into learning or doing this, you just throw yourself into it and you just don't care. You just throw yourself into it. Dude, like when you ask that person a specific question about this, it's kind of like this is probably the thing that counters the argument um you know, like friend groups, right? We'll get to I think friend groups will be a topic for another day. But like when you're so obsessed with something, dude, it's like when somebody asks you a question about this thing, your knowledge base and understanding base in that specific thing is way higher than the average person. The average person's out there doing God knows what. They're really watching TV, they're on TikTok being an idiot. You've been here, you know? And that's so important that you get into that habit of obsession about a specific thing, because that's oftentimes where the progress is going to be. And it can also be heavily linked with want and desire. A lot of the behaviors, the actual behaviors, is going to be linked with with desire. Like when you desire something and it's all you think about and it's all you want and it's you're willing to go pedal for metal on this specific thing, dude, there's nothing that can stop you. I mean, obviously you might hit certain structural bounds, but the learning, at least, you're going to figure out something you can do to get better or something you can do to get closer. Even if it's not that sexy, you'll find out something. You'll do something, you know? There's nothing that's off the table. You know, obviously don't kill or steal, but you get the point. You know, I mean, shit, maybe. I'm joking. It was a joke. It was a joke. Don't do that shit. I'm serious. Fuck you. Don't do that. You go to jail. Fuck you. But you get my point though. You know? And just one of those things, like I remember I was listening to this other kid. He was like Matt's no, he was a doctor basically. He was studying to be a doctor. And he's like, dude, if you want to be a doctor or anything, just throw yourself into it. Throw yourself into it. Just throw yourself into the deep end and just be there. You know, just be ready and prepared for the whole grind, for the whole thing about it. Because a lot of the time, this is not him saying, this is me saying. Because like I can understand what he means, because like a lot of the times people want these microwave things, these microwave solutions. Shit, I was one of them, kind of, you know, where you want this thing to be done like this. You know, people want to put in money on Monday, get money out on Friday and spend it. You know, people want to stunt, you know, say Instagram, whatever the fuck, you know, and that's one of the reasons you need to be careful of the content you watch. Don't be watching all this stuff about people flaunting money, about cars, about houses, about people taking holidays. Don't watch that shit. You're subconsciously comparing yourself to these people, even if you're just, oh, I'm just here to watch. No, you're comparing yourself. Don't listen to that. Even when I was on TikTok, dude, I don't even watch content that doesn't refer to me or my life. Like somebody would be like, 5 things I learned ever since having kids. I don't watch that because I don't have fucking kids. People will be like, 5 things you should do as a man to whatever the fuck as you take steroids. I don't take steroids. I'm not listening. You just fucking scroll. If it doesn't apply to you, to your life and the things that you're doing, just scroll. Don't even scroll. Go back to the thing you need to be doing. Because guess what? You'll watch all this content on social media. You'll watch it and 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 watch it. All for it not to do a fucking thing for you. Like, how many videos did you watch on YouTube? Now, it's one thing if you're just watching some like video like about like, I don't know, some nature video or whatever, or some explainer video, maybe just for like, you know, for like shits and giggles, or maybe for like, you know, just for entertainment. But like, it's a big difference for watching for enjoyment versus watching to numb yourself or to procrastinate. Big difference. Because you got to go back into your obsession. You got to go back into throwing yourself on the deep end about the situation. And you need to be obsession about the thing that's going to get you there. You can make yourself, you can hypnotize yourself. It's a real thing. The human brain is a bit more malleable than what you think it is. Like, it's more malleable. You can bend it in ways. And like, that's a big thing that I can also tell you about it. So it's actually a very big thing. It's actually a really huge thing that I want you to carry with you. And like another thing too, this is probably Jesus 40 minutes, but you know, it's a good video. I know you're enjoying it. I hope you're listening. Maybe you're like washing dishes. I don't know. But like, you know, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Other people's opinions and feelings about you do not matter at all when it comes to your success. Like, I think as a human, you might think like, oh man, these people don't like me. Oh man, that person. It doesn't matter, to be real with you, because objectively, if whatever you do is effective and it works, or at least it makes sense, there you have it. Like, that's the end of the story. Like, it doesn't really, like, it, people's opinion, even your own opinions, even your own feelings. You know, I could tell you as an example, like, I don't know, let's make an example. Oh, this is yellow. Whether I'm a good person, bad person, whether I'm crying or I'm angry or I'm sad, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm wearing yellow. Right now, you're wearing sandals. Right now, it's probably raining. It's nighttime or daytime. That is independent of you. You have to understand that skills and knowledge are oftentimes independent of the person. They're not linked. They're independent. The person might know or have access to this thing or know about it, but it has nothing to do with them as their personality or whatever the fuck that is, right? You know, I'm one of those people who knows, who sees that, you know, Because why is it that so many people can kind of replicate what that person is doing? So meaning if somebody's talented or gifted, quote unquote, it looks like, it's not really, it's just that they understand how this thing works or how it should be done. That's it. And you can very much do that, because going back to our previous earlier point that you're not special and you're just a human being, that doesn't just apply to you. That applies to everybody else too. They're just a human being like you. You have elbows, they have elbows. You know, you have a liver, they have a liver. Okay, they take poops, you take poops. Okay, that you're the same. I'm telling you, you're fucking the same. Human beings share 99.9999999 DNA with each other. I'm not a liar, that's a fact. The last 0.01, whatever the fuck, the last 0.01% is where you see all these differences. But either that, you know why? Because we're the same fucking species. So my point is, if someone else did it, quite frankly, you can do it as well. And it's not a lie, it's a fact. Now, obviously, you gotta think about it. You know, you're not gonna run like Usain Bolt. Calm down. Maybe you might, I don't know. But there, you know, what I'm saying you can get faster. You know, let me put it like that. You know, you can, you know, I don't know if you're passionate about the shit. But anyways, you get my point. You can get better. You can get faster. Shit, maybe you might be Usain Bolt. Fuck it. Who knows? Maybe you might have them genetics underneath. Who knows? But you just never trained it out to get there. So let's just recap real quick, real nicely. You know, it just takes time, man. You know, and just throw yourself, and just time will eat itself. And there's so many opportunities for you, or so many things to get there, but you're not going to get there, and you're not going to access those opportunities if you don't start getting obsessed in whatever you need to start getting obsessed within, and just committing yourself to that process, and just writing it out. And don't think about the future. You know, nothing. Don't think about what can go bad or what can go wrong. Don't do that. You know, don't, because it's not going to help anything. Everything can go bad. Everything can go to shit. This roof that you're underneath could just randomly fall. The car that you can randomly get into a car accident. Like don't think about the bad. Obviously plan and think, have a brain. But my point is like, you know, whatever. You don't like, my point is like, don't think about the negative or what can go bad. Think about what could go right. Fuck it. And another thing is take that extra leap. Take that extra leap. Take that extra like faith. You know, fortune favors the bold, and that's a real statement. It's a real thing, you know, because you never might know what's on the other side. Might you fail? Yeah, you could fail, but at least I could say I tried. I did something. I put my money where my mouth is. I did something about it. I went forward. And yeah, my situation wasn't perfect, and this wasn't perfect, and that wasn't perfect, and da-da-da-da-da. Because look, man, you can complain until morning sunrise, man. No one cares. Shut up. Do something. What are you going to do about it? You're going to sit there and bitch, or you're going to do something about it? Are you going to sit there and cry and moan, or are you going to fucking do something about it? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. You know? And stick with things, bro. It's probably like a really important thing, at least for me, you know? Stick with things. Stick with fucking shit, bro. Stick with that shit. You know? Run that pipe about that situation. Don't just run away when it gets hard or difficult or unsexy, because let me tell you something. Life is short, man. Something might be unsexy for actually 2 weeks, but it feels like an eternity. And then what I've really realized in life is that things become hard and hard and hard, and then they're just so hard for so long until eventually they stop being hard. And then life continues on. So keep that in mind as well. See you guys on the next part. Replay this video if you need to. And yeah, I'm saying go out there and do your thing, cowboy. Peace out.